in those days, there were a number of theories circulating around explaining the formation of Malaysia. The most popular ones were the security theory and the expansion theory. Now, the security theory was based on the fact that Singapore was becoming communist or falling into communist hands, and that created a security situation. So the theory postulates that Singapore had to be merged with Malaya to save Singapore from becoming a second Cuba. That was the first theory. The second theory was the theory of expansion. In other words, Tunku Abdul Rahman was not just a leader of independent Malaya, but he also had expansionist ideas. He wanted to expand what he called mighty Malaya by having the Borneo territories. Now, a lot of new evidence has come to light because the British National Archives, previously known as the Public Records Office, released these documents over time. There's a 30-year limit and then new documents are released. Now, after studying these documents, I come to the conclusion that these two theories may not be too relevant for the formation of Malaysia, and I'm advancing two theories of my own, not necessarily totally original. One is the decolonization theory, and the second is the nationalist or expansionist nationalist theory. So what does the decolonization theory say? I'm proposing this theory because the concept of Malaysia is not new. So what Tunku Abdul Rahman did in 1961 was just pouring old wine into new bottles, because the British had already conceived the idea of Malaysia in 1962. They did not name it Malaysia, but they call it a British dominion of Southeast Asia, which meant that the British wanted to unify all the units they had here into one unit, administrative unit, and they call it the British Dominion. But later it was called by Tunku Abdul Rahman Malaysia. It was the same concept. The idea was to unite these territories and slowly give them independence. So I'm basing my decolonization theory on this, that actually there was already this scheme in operation. However, fortunately or unfortunately for the British saw this is a long-term scheme, but nationalist movements in Southeast Asia, especially in Malaya, overtook their designs, their planning. Malaya especially moved towards independence faster than what the British had planned. So in 1957, when Malaya got independence, the decolonization project was derailed. The British could not implement it because Malaya had already got independence. So what did they do with Singapore, Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei? They were left with that. So as time went on, they wanted to get rid of these colonies. What do? They tried all sorts of experiments but could not. One of them was to federate the Borneo territories, did not succeed. There are many reasons, I don't want to go into this. So in 1961, when the Singapore problem came up, the British approached Tunku Abdul Rahman and said, can you solve our decolonization problems? And Tunku Abdul Rahman was more than willing to help the British solve the decolonization problems. That is why I am proposing that this idea of Malaysia basically was based in the decolonization theory. The second theory is nationalist expansions. Now, what is expansionist nationalisms? We cannot talk about Tunku Abdul Rahman proposing a greater Malaya on its own. This movement, this aspiration to expand in the region was already there. So it was a phenomenon, a general phenomenon in Southeast Asia. Started off by Macapagal in the Philippines, who wanted to claim Sabah back for the Philippines. Indonesia under Sukarno was unhappy with half of Kalimantan without the head missing. They wanted the head also, which is British Borneo. So the conflict, the struggle for the British Borneo region was already there even before Tunku came in. When Tunku came in, he joined the bandwagon. So it's a general phenomena of expansionist nationalism. Parti Rakyat Brunei also wanted Greater Brunei. So I'm explaining this expansionist theory in a bigger format called expansionist nationalisms. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. We can have a Q&A.